Sodarachne's facade. Really just an underutilized helmet, maybe a little bit, maybe people use it, but we're gonna put a build together with it today using some Beyblade tangles because I just love Beyblades, I'll be for real. I've been wanting to do this build for quite some time. I tried using Quicksilver Storm with it, but in comparison to Barodiad, there is a clear and convincing winner, and it's Barodiad, I think. But if you don't have Barodiad yet, Quicksilver is a good weapon to replace it with, as you can create tangles with the grenade launcher version of Quicksilver. So very, very cool there. The main, again, purpose of this build is to use our tangles and refresh our grapple by throwing and grappling to them. You can also grapple to the tangles while they are doing the Beyblade action, while they're whirling up the maelstrom, you know, so that will also refresh your grapple. The fragments we have to pair with this build are, of course, Thread of Warding, because we get some woven mail with picking up orbs. Thread of Continuity, because we're going to be having a lot of Unravel and Sever. Not really Suspend, but just having the increased duration on Unravel and Sever is really, really nice. Thread of Propagation, so that our powered melee final blows grant your Strand weapons unraveling rounds. I do think your grapple melee counts to proc this as well, so if you grapple melee a red bar, it should proc Thread of Propagation. Thread of Transmutation for the last one here. While you have a Woven Mail, which you're going to have plenty of chances to get Woven Mail, weapon final blows create tangles to, again, build into more Woven Mail and more Beyblades. So, very fun, cool build. Of course, we have Marksman's Dodge on for Barodiad to reload it and load our Blight Seekers and grapple, because you kind of need it for this build. And as you may or may not know, the perk here for Sodarachnes grants you Woven Mail when you activate your grapple. Increased flinch, we don't really care about that unless you're in PvP. I guess it's kind of nice in PvE. We just have double Strand siphons on for Barodiad. We can go over to the mod menu here, which I always sometimes forget to use. Strand Loader, because occasionally we won't have our dodge, as it's not a dodge heavy build. So having the double loader on is very nice. Focusing Strike, though, to build into getting our class ability back when we need to. Resist, matching, whatever you're doing. Strand Weapon Surge, you can have 2 on. You want maybe 1 recuperation. Strand does not have much in the way of healing, although with the amount of Woven Mail you have, you should be doing okay survivability wise. If you are struggling though, pop on 2 recuperations instead and just go with 1 Strand Weapon Surge. And you could throw Elemental Charge on it as well. That's up to you. That would go very nicely with the build in general. And then Time Dilation, just to give us some more time on our countdowns or cooldowns and whatnot. You could throw just about anything else you want on in this area. And for artifact perks, there are some pretty obvious ones that pair really well with just about any Strand build or Strand weapons. Unraveling Orbs, so that we get unraveling rounds when we pick up an orb or a tangle, so again, perpetual unraveling essentially. Vile Weave, so that when we hit stuff with our tangles, they're going to be severed. They're going to do less damage. Disruptor Spike, because it improves exhaust and sever, makes enemies do less damage. Elemental Siphon, so that with our weapon, since we're using Barodiad, we're matching our subclass because we're using Strand here. So we're going to make some tangles in that sense. Horde Shuttle to make some threadlings for some extra ad clear. And of course to shreds, because we're going to be severing and unraveling. And if you're in a fire team, giving Woven Mail to your teammates is really awesome. This is another artifact perk that I would love to see as a fragment or something else down the line, because it's really, really good. And giving teammates Woven Mail is really only a Titan thing, and maybe they shouldn't take away from that. Maybe this should be a Titan aspect or something like that, but it would be really cool for other classes to have this ability as well. Obviously have your boosts activated here. I think probably the most important is to shreds, because you're just going to do so much damage pairing Unraveling with Severed. It's really, really strong. I would say this build wouldn't be half as good without the artifact perks, but again, that's kind of the point of the artifact, is to boost everything. The point of the Tomb of Want as well, or Tome of Want, to increase the potency of the artifact perk. So yeah, I'm gonna play some gameplay in the background now, and enjoy the gameplay, see how the build works. You want to use your grapple again to attach to those tangles to keep your grapple refreshed. Try and catch your threaded spike when it can. Little tidbit that I learned, of course, most people probably know this, but once you see the green icon after you throw your spike, your threaded spike, you see a little green icon flash like it's full again. You click your melee button to catch it once you see that pop up, and that's how you regain a little bit more melee energy instead of just, you know, not catching it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Enjoy the gameplay. If you have any questions about the build, feel free to ask them below. And if you're not subscribed, I would kindly ask that you consider. A lot of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. And again, just, I guess, like the video maybe. You don't have to though. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.